Today, be interviewing Mr. Harold Compton for the Library of Congress Veterans History Project. Today is January the 9th, 2008. We're in the Southfield Public Library. And Mr. Compton, why don't you just give us your full name, your date of birth, and where you were born.
My name is Harold Compton. I was born 9/20/26 in Danby Township, Ionia County.
That's in Michigan?
In Michigan.
In Michigan, okay. All right. Could you tell us how many brothers and sisters and what were your parents' occupation?
I have 3 brothers. I had 3 brothers, 1 sister.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a farmer, and he also worked in logs.
Okay. What were you doing before you entered the service?
High school.
High school. Oh, okay. Okay. Did you have any other family members who were in the service?
My brother was in the service. I have an older brother who was in the service.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, tell us what day you joined the service and how did you end up in the service? And just tell us about it.
I was drafted,
Okay.
and I entered the service January the 15th, 1945.
Okay.
And I come out November the 29th, 1946.
Okay. And where were you when you were drafted?
I was on the farm.
Okay. Okay. And where did you report when you were drafted, when you were first?
When I first was drafted, my physical was at Fort Wayne, downtown Detroit here.
Okay.
And then we went back home, and then we were called up and went to Fort Sheridan.
Oh, okay. Well, where was Fort Sheridan located?
I think Fort Sheridan, Illinois, isn't it?
Okay. Okay. Did you have any other friends or high school classmates that were drafted at the same time with you? No. Okay. Okay. How far was your home from Detroit at that time, James? How far away was it from the city?
About 120, 130 miles, something like that.
So you had to come down here for your physical?
I had to come down here for the physical, yeah. We went to Ionia, and we got on a train. Oh, we didn't. We went to Ionia, got on a bus.
Oh, okay. Okay. That was a day's trip, huh?
That was a day's trip. You bet it was.
Wow. Wow. So you came down, you got your physical, and did you go back home?
Went back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they let you know when you back.
Then they called me up to catch the train in Ionia, and then we went to Fort Sheridan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's where we were issued our clothes and things to carry the military.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you know it when you were on the train headed to Fort Sheridan? Did you have any friends? I mean, did you know anybody before you got on?
No, I didn't.
So you were the only one from your city?
I was the only one that I knew on the train. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. How long was the train ride? Do you recall?
No, I don't.
Okay. Was it basic at Fort Sheridan?
No, Fort Sheridan was just an induction center.
Okay.
I went to Robinson, Arkansas,
okay,
for basic training.
Oh, okay. Okay. And was it tell us about that. How it was it awkward?
Robinson, Arkansas. I thought they run us a lot too much down there. I mean, we run. A lot of calisthenics and things like that to build us up.
Yeah.
A little rifle, a little heavy machine gun, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was mostly marching and running because they.
Was it 8 weeks back then too?
It was 8 weeks.
8 weeks. Okay. All right. The war. Okay. What did you do after basic?
After basic, got 2 weeks at home.
Okay.
Then I went back to Compton, Arkansas. And we were going to go to Europe, I guess, because we went to Fort Meade, Maryland. And engine we had that was pulling the train couldn't make up a grade or something here at Fort Meade, Maryland. And I stuck my head out the window to see what was going on, what the commotion was, and a lot of sparks and cinders coming back through there, but we couldn't make it up the hill, and I don't know for what reason. they hooked on the other end of the train, and we went to Rucker, Alabama for advanced training.
Exactly, so you back the other way.
Yeah.
Wow. So Fort Rucker, what kind of training did you get into there?
More of the same,
Mm-hmm.
little heavy weapons and a lot of in foxholes where you couldn't hardly dig and things like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so were you infantry?
Infantry.
Infantry, okay. All right. How long were you in your advanced training here? How long was that at Fort Rucker?
Probably about 8 weeks.
Okay. And how did you find that training? Was it?
It was hot down there.
Okay.
It was hot.
Okay. Did you develop any, let's say, friendships during that period of time?
Oh yeah. We had 2 buddies down the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And what were your thoughts of the Army at that time? You'd been drafted. So what were your thoughts at that early stage?
Of the Army?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It was something different by quite a lot from what I'd been used to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How different? And in what way?
Well, I don't know. Your eating habits, your up early in the morning and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Things that you do, that you did.
Mm-hmm. So it was a whole new routine.
A whole new routine, quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So after Fort Rucker, you were, what were you assigned and where did you go and what unit were you assigned to?
After Fort Rucker, we was on the train and we went to Fort Ord, California.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
And after Fort Ord, then we went down and got on the ship to go overseas.
Okay.
Fort Ord, we was out there probably about a week.
Okay.
And I thought the country out there, I don't know, not too much. I couldn't even see the sun, I don't think, all the time when I was out there. It was that 5 weeks.
Wow. 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 Okay. How was the trip to Fort Ord? You went by train. Was it just a routine trip or just a routine?
Not bad. They had military cars that we rode into.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't electric cars or anything like that, but you had a bed to sit on, bed to sleep on.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. So once you got to Fort Ord, how long was it? How long were you there before you got on the ship? You said was it a week?
About a week, I'd say. I don't remember for sure, but I'd say about a week.
Okay. Okay. Once you got on the ship, what company were you assigned to? An infantry company? Did you know?
Not until I got overseas.
Oh. Okay.
Not until I got overseas.
Okay. And so, what was your first stop when you were on the ship?
Well, when we were on the ship, we went to Manila Bay.
Mm-hmm. This the Philippines?
Philippines.
Okay.
Right. Got off the ship and got on another train, which was an open car, like a coal car,
Mm-hmm.
and rode across the island over to what they call Laguna Bay, I think it was.
Oh, okay. 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 And how did you feel about the Philippines once you got there? I mean, just as early.
I liked it over there. We was in tents, and food wasn't bad, and we didn't have to do very much other than take our bed mattress cover and wet it, and get on the ocean, wet it, and use it for a float and play around the water all day. Couldn't beat that hardly.
So that wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad at all.
That'd be basic training and
By quite a lot.
Yeah.
By quite a lot. Well, we were over there, and of course there was a lot of the older fellows that was in the service had been in the war over there.
Mm-hmm.
So they was more or less resting it out.
Oh, they were kind of like
That and then getting ready to go home and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now you're at Laguna Bay. What happened? Where did you go from there?
Back on the train across the island.